Hello, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say call on Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekakwadash, my Father in heaven, giving all praises to Yahweh Shai, his only begotten Son. Double honors to great millstone, the cornerstone of Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, who gave this wisdom, knowledge, and truth and understanding to me. Much love to them. And shout out to the Akim, the Akwaf, the beautiful women, the beautiful men that's in the truth. And whether you be from a group or not, you still follow Yahweh Shem Shai the correct way, and you worship Him. You do the best that you can to show your faith. Much love to the Aqua, the beautiful women that is in the truth, and whether you got a man or not, you still fear the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shai. You listen and you learn in silence. Coming back at you with another episode through the power and spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and the name Yahweh Shai. And today's episode is just to watch out for evil. Be vigilant of evil, knowing who's responsible of the wicked things and the stuff that go on in this world. Like the prophets say, the Bible is not for the faint-hearted. So you should be able to toss certain feelings to the side before you get into the Bible and before you read it and you get the truth and you understand it. You got to toss a lot of things to the side. I know certain things people don't agree on, and certain things that make people mad, but overall it is the truth. And especially for us Hebrew Israelites, or Israelites, us brothers and sisters that's in the truth, we know the truth is for us and only for us, so we benefit greatly off of it, other than the other people who read the book, and other people who believe in God, well, and who they call God. I don't know whoever they worshiping, but for those who read the book and they know the truth about Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and they know the truth about who the Israelites are, and who the holy angels in heaven are, and what they look like, their skin color, etc. They may not like it, but it is the truth. So they get some precepts about these wicked things that are going to happen, and you got to know who's responsible for that, and you got to understand why it's like that, because the Lord does have a balance with all things, and somebody got to be good and somebody got to be evil, Fuck it. Where is that shit at? Yeah. We could start from there. Okay, so we got it on who's responsible in the beginning. Genesis, it says, chapter 3, verse 1, it says, "Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which Yahweh had made, or Yahweh Shai had made. And he said to the woman, Has Yahweh Shai indeed said, You shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, We may eat the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh Shai said, You shall not eat it." Or Alahayim is another term too. It says, Alahayim said, You shall not eat, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. It says, Then the serpent said to the woman, You will not surely die, for Yahweh for the Alahayim knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like the Alahayim, knowing good and evil. It says, So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree was desirable to make one wise, she took its fruit and ate. So it's not talking about eating; it's talking about seeing and and experiencing these different knowledges and these different understandings that wasn't um, allowed for Adam and Eve and for the rest of the world to see. But like they said, being Eve, being a woman, she was she gave in to temptation, and that's a lot of women today. But the relationship between her and the serpent is her giving into temptation and seeing all of these wicked things and allowing the serpent to overcome her, which is the white man today. A lot of Eve does do that. So this right here is showing you who's responsible way in the beginning, and that's Esau, Edom, when he was the serpent, so he, before he lost all his melanin and all that. So, and a serpent is not the snake that they're talking about. It's a group of evil people. So now they got, portraits of Adam and Eve, and they got different ideals, and they will actually show you the apple. They will show you, them butt naked, and then they will show you them in the garden, like eating an apple with the snake being the actual snake, when that is a total lie. That is a total deception. That's like more of a fantasy, See, that's why I like Yahweh Bashim Shai, because he tears that veil down so you could be able to see and understand the truth. So we could go. Wait, we can finish this situation. It says, so when the women saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree was desirable to make one wise, it says, she took of its fruit and ate, so she also gave it to her husband with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both of them were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed figs and leaves together and made themselves coverings. It says, and they heard the sound of the Alahayim walking in the garden in the cool of the day, which is, I do believe the garden is Israel, the Garden of Eden. It says, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Alahayim among the trees of the garden. Then the Alahayim called to Adam and said to him, where are you? And he, like they said, he called the man first, because the man is the lead of the woman. It's always like that. But nowadays you got women with this feminism, and on top of that, to make matters worse, is women's rights, and like they said, the women's rights wasn't even for them. So, how did the Israelite women just totally agree to something that actually didn't even have nothing to do with them? Women's rights was being pushed by, white women, because they wanted to be equal to the white men, so that right there is like kind of like weird too. Like, it's a lot of things that our people are doing that don't really got nothing to do with them, but they seem to be a part of it. And it's as peaceful as they want to seem towards their enemy. Their enemy ain't peaceful towards them, and it's not for their benefit. So it's a lot of stuff that they're doing with the enemy that doesn't benefit them at all. It's actually destroying them and making it worse. And it's sad, because it's a lot of our people that's wicked, that's joining the side, of the white man, and joining up with his secret societies, and joining with his protocol and his way of doing things in the world, this corruptedness. And they actually make a living off destroying our people and keeping them worse and making them worse. So all the way from the gang members, all the way from the women, all the way from the drug dealers, the rappers, the actors. A lot of them is contributing to the cause of destroying our people and not rising them up. So it's like, the Israelite, and it's not even towards their benefit. It's not even making them better. It's just keeping them from a certain, ranking or being in poverty. But, to each his own. It's not actually benefit them. It's actually destroying them, So they got a long list of being a part of a lot of shit that really don't got nothing to do with them. That's the joke on them, So we could go to another one. Oh, this one's a good one. All right, get. I gotta get a new Bible. This book is so old, man. It says, this is Genesis chapter 4, verse 1. It says, no, chapter 4, verse 1. Yeah. It says, Now Adam knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, I have acquired a man from Yahweh, or from the Elohim, or no, from Yahweh Shai or the Elohim, either or. It says, then she bore again, this time his brother Abel. It says, now Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. It says, in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought an offering to the fruit, no, offering of the fruit of the ground to Elohim, to the Elohim. It says, Abel also brought the firstborn of his flock and of their fat. And the Elohim respected Abel and his offering, but he did not respect Cain and his offering. And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. So now it's telling you about the serpent, which is the white man being reincarnated again, and in another time, you know. So now it's talking, and it also talk about the twins, you know. So or the brothers, you know. One and it's spiritually, no, one was red and then one was black. You know, one came out normal and one came out normal, you know, and it's like a precursor to the destinies and the fates of Israel today and Edom today, you know. So right there, it's pointing to you way in the beginning of the chapters who is the cause of all this destruction, and you know why he's the way that he is because it's like this nasty little breeze. It's because Yahweh Shai made him that way. So it says, so Yahweh Shai, no, the Elohim said to Cain, why are you angry, and why has your countenance fallen? It says, if you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin lies at the door, and its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. Meaning that he became a wicked man. He became a wicked person. He chose this sin and he chose this wickedness, even though this is the crazy part about it, that the Elohim, which is Yahweh Shai, and the angels through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, which is the Almighty, they gave him a chance to reconsider his actions. They gave him a chance to turn from his evil and his wicked ways, but he did not. He actually chose sin. He chose his jealousy. He chose evil, you know. And you know, it's very relatable to how kids and how parents treat their children and their families, you know. Like how you being the only kid, and then next thing you know, your mom decides to have another child, and a lot of the attention is off the child. And you know, he is at a certain age to where it was kind of childish, but you take that, you kind of get jealous of that child, and you kind of like, you know, when y'all get older, you kind of bully him, and you know, you kind of treat him a certain way. You know, it's very relatable to a simple situation as that, but this one spiraled out of control. It says, now Cain talked with Abel, his brother. It says, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against his brother and killed him. Then the Elohim said to Cain, where is Abel, your brother? And it says, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what have you done? It says, the voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. So he murdered his brother and hid his body. It says, so now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. It says, when you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and a vagabond you shall be on the earth. So that's a precursor back then, and it's still the same way now. And you know, this precept is it's a duality. So it's for back then, and then it's for now, that people are starting to wise up, and not only that, our people especially is starting to become conscious on who is destroying them and who is doing all of these horrible things to them, and oppressing them, and killing them, and enslaving them. They starting to wise up to who's responsible for this. And in time, when these laws, no, when Jacob's trouble takes place, along with the mark of the beast and all of that, then they're gonna lash out at the oppressor, and they're gonna attack them and destroy them and go after them, and then the oppressor will be on the run from the very same people that he tried to destroy. He gonna be on the run from them. So he gonna be on the run from them. So it's like, yet again, it's another reminder to let you know who's responsible for a lot of the destruction and a lot of trouble. And the Bible tells you all the way in the beginning who is the cause of a lot of things that are happening to us, and who's the cause of the shit that's happening in the world, and everything that's going on in your life, and the reason why your life is the way it is. So life is hard because of this one motherfucker, or a group of motherfuckers, like, but life is hard because of them, and they won't stop, and like you said, he chose evil, he chose wickedness, because he was already wicked, he was already evil. So, you know, wait, we can also skip to another part. So a little more. Sometimes it's better to know the chapters of these motherfuckers, man. I wish I had a fucking board for this shit. This is Super Bowl. Here we go. Finally found it. Sorry about that. Not that anybody is really listening, but this is for my own sake, too. This is Genesis 25, verse 20. Chapter 25, verse 20, it says, Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah as wife. It says, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Paddan and Aram. This is the sister of Laban, the Syrian. Now Isaac pleaded with the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and Yahushua granted his plea, and Rebekah his wife conceived, but the children struggled together within her. And she said, if all is well, why am I like this? So she went to inquire from Yahushua, and Yahushua said to her, two nations are in your womb, two peoples shall be separated from your body. One people shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger. So, right now, that was the true fate of the two nations, which is us, the Israelites, and Esau, Edom. So, this chapter, this precept is another future precept for what's about to happen to the people that's doing all of this wicked shit to us and all of this horrible stuff. In the next life, they're going to have it extremely bad to where it's impossible for them to ever rise again. They're going to experience eternal poverty. They're going to experience extreme suffering, because of all the things that they have done to us and oppress the other tribes of the world, the other nations, and just terrorize and caused a bunch of bullshit and habit, all the way from extreme slavery on us and not giving no reparations, not giving our kingdoms back, to tampering with the environment, poisoning the ocean, playing with the sky, sending out these nasty ass acid rains, that's what I call it. And they just, when it rain, it just gets you sick as hell, playing with the animals and, creation of life, blending them and gene splicing from genetic engineering, creating things that shouldn't be, to sexuality. Oh, that's one of their favorite things, is immoral sexuality, doing a lot of things, like gender changes and adding genders and all kinds of depraved activities that they do on the daily, because in they twisted minds, they think that they are the holy ones. They think that they are the gods. They think that Yahweh Shai is blessing them and taking care of them, when he's actually not. Them, like it said in the Bible, those the people that are the most hated by Yahweh and won't have an inheritance in the next life, Well, none of the nations got an inheritance in the next life, but at least they'll be there. He's the one that the Lord is just going to take away, period. And after he finish his slavery and all that, he's going to take him away. So that's why it says, and the older shall serve the younger, because right now we under rule by this wicked man, these wicked people. But in the next life, is coming quickly, and the kingdom of heaven, we gonna be the ones in rule, and they gonna be slaves. So, like the prophets and them say, you thought our slavery was bad. No, they slavery will be worse. And it's in our slavery, we got the brunt, we got our ass kicked in at least 14 to 15 captivities, different ones throughout time, throughout the history of the world. And now we at our final slavery, we at our final run. So, when it's time and it's all said and done and we're free and all of this shit is over with, Mark of the Beast, World War III, nuclear destruction, this world being changed, then they'll be the ones that's going to be in a slavery, and we're going to be the ones that's going to be in rule forever, and it's never going to change, so. And this is another reason why too. So when a lot of these Edomites do read the Bible, they'll have that understanding of why and why they are to blame, because this book is our is the story of our life, and the book is not the blessing for them, but their life is in this book too, and it explains, all the way from the beginning to the end of what these people and what their destiny would be, so we can go to that. Oh, this one is a good one. I can finish reading this. I want to finish reading this before I get to the birthright. It says, so when her days were fulfilled, it says, and for her to give birth, indeed there were twins in her womb. It says, and the first came out red. He was like a hairy garment all over. So they called his name Esau. And Esau, I do believe, means red or something like that. It says afterwards, because because the red shows forth through their skin. So, they get into certain emotions, and like, they shy or they angry, they would turn red and they could not hide it. So it says, afterwards his brother came out and he took his hand and took hold of Esau's, afterwards his brother came out and his hand took hold of Esau's heel. So his name was called Jacob. It says Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. So now this one stands out because you should already know come on, the Bible is that awesome. It doesn't even tell you what color he was, because you should already know exactly what color Jacob was. He was black or brown skin, dark skin. And but they tell you the color of Esau and how to identify him and who the wicked actually is. So, and having no melanin is a heathen. It's a curse. It's a heathenistic curse. You know why? Because back in the wild, according to information in the wild, and this is how do you identify the wicked. And I forgot to read that part where the Yahweh, though the Elohim had removed the melanin off Cain, because that was that part, to where he was constantly exposed, and he had nowhere to hide, and everybody was making fun of him, and people was harassing him because they heard the story and the legend about, who he is and what he actually is. And his skin, wait, I gotta get that. Oops. Right here. And it says right here, we back at chapter 6 of Genesis. And we're gonna continue right there, and we're gonna go back. It says, he said, I do not know, am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. It says, so now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood. Okay. It says, from your hand. It says, when you shall till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and a vagabond, you shall be on the earth. And Cain said to the Elohim, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Because he cursed him. Well, watch this part. I ain't even going to say nothing. This part is always a classic. But this is how you identify who the wicked and who the evil are, even in the Bible. And like I said, watch out for the evil, watch out for the wicked, and understand who the wicked are and understand why they the way they are, and so on and so forth. It says, and Cain said to Yahweh Shai, or to the Elohim, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Because he was talking to the angel that was sent from Yahweh Shai, all the way up from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, So it says, surely you have driven me out this day from the face of the ground. I shall be hidden from your face. It says, I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth, and it will happen that anyone who finds me will kill me. It says, and Yahushua said to him, It said, no, the Elohim said to him, therefore, whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Elohim set a mark on Cain, lest anyone finding him should kill him. So before anybody could find him and kill him, they would, before, they would understand why. And I guess they would be punished for it, for killing him. It says, because Yahweh really wanted them to suffer, that was the point. It says, and it says, and then Cain went out from the presence of the Elohim and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. So it's the mark that he set on him was losing his melanin. So we can go on back to the page that I was at. There we go. That's why people need to read their Bibles, bro. The truth is in here, and it pretty much know better. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua himself can tell you better than anybody. So it says, afterwards, it says, and the first came out red. He was like a hairy garment all over, so they called his name Esau. It says, afterward, his brother came out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel. So his name was called Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when she bore them. So the boys grew, and Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, a man of the world. He travels the world. He travels different places. Well, during that time in Africa, he stayed in the earth. He stayed in the wilderness. And to this day, a lot of Edomites have that trait. They like to, and he said hunters. So he, hunted different kind of animals. He explored different kind of places. He was always outside in the wilderness, in the world, looking for different things, learning different things. He was that kind of hunter. He was really smart. But that's why you got poachers, you got hunters that hunt different animals. To this day, people. There's no better person to identify than white people. They go up to go look at the mountain lions. They go down in the sea to look at the fish and all of that. Them the best candidates, because we, we as black people, we don't do that shit. We don't just go exploring and go out to the top of the mountains, to go top of the glaciers, to go see the penguins. We don't go into the hot ass savannah to see the lizards and the scorpions. We don't go all the way to fucking Mongolia or the Himalayas to see the fucking jacuzzi monkeys or whatever. We don't do all that. We stay where we are. We are we the people that like being in the sun. We tropical people. We like the heat. We like the summertime. It keeps our melanin charged. We are we not really travelers like that. We really stagnant, not only because of the shit that's going on in the oppression from our enemy, but because Israelites is like that. I mean, we like to travel and all that, but I'm just saying, traveling to these fucking wildlife places and shit is not us. Going out to go camp in the fucking woods and to go hunt deer, that is the white nigga. That's the white nigga, man. And it says, and Esau was a skillful hunter, a man of the field, but Jacob was a mild man, dwelling in the tent. So Esau was because he was an outcast, because of his skin. He was reincarnated like that after he killed his brother Cain. And through reincarnation, regeneration, that is why the way he is because of what he did to his brother. He put that mark on him. And when he died and he came back, him and his brother came back in the womb. Abel came back as Jacob. Cain came back as Esau. The fight still continued, even when they came out, spiritually, through his life. So he came back without that melanin, Now, like it says, the Bible, when you born again, you don't have no remembrance of your past life or none of that, because it doesn't really matter. But, in his life, he probably wanted to wonder why he was made like that, because people was laughing at him and people was making fun of him because his skin was making him into an outcast, a weirdo, because you the only red guy / white guy in a world full of melanin, You know, world full of dark skinned people. You know, and especially in Africa, man, people black, man. So it's kind of weird to see. Uh, a white man, you know, that got this red ass skin, and then on top of that, during certain seasons like the summer mainly, you know, he would turn even more redder, and he could not deal with the sun, you know, so he'd be hiding in the bushes and hiding in the forest and shit while everybody else is kicking back and, you know, in their tents or in the deserts or at different places wherever they may be during that time, you know. So it says, and Isaac loved Esau because he ate of his game. It says, but Rebekah loved Jacob. It says, now Jacob cooked a stew, and Esau came in from the field, and he was weary. This will scare the shit out of the Edomites when they read this. You know, for those of them that Yahweh put the understanding to no put the spirit of understanding on some of these people to understand what really happened. And you know, for certain Edomites that know the truth, it would make them hate their progenitor even more. They would hate their forefathers even more because of what they did, and you know how wicked they were and how dumb they were, because you know, they're pretty dumb. You know, it says it's, you know, because of all the knowledge and all the stuff that they've gained and all the money and all of that, none of that, you know, really mattered. You know, they still fucking idiots. It doesn't matter, you know. And that's another thing about, you know, let me just finish this shit. It says, and now Jacob cooked a stew, and Esau came in from the field, and he was weary. And Esau said to Jacob, please feed me with that same red stew, for I am weary. Therefore, his Therefore, his name was called Edom. It says, but Jacob said, sell me your birthright as of this day. The birthright of the world, you know. So it says, and Esau said, look, I am about to die. So what is this birthright to me? And that's the birthright of the world, you know. He gave him his birthright. It says, it says, and it says the birthright. So then Jacob said, swear to me as of this day. So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. It says, and Jacob gave Esau bread and stews and lentils. Then he ate and drank and arose and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. He hated the rights to the world. Now that's some stupid shit. Now why would you hate such a blessing like that, to have that power to rule the world and have all that divine, you know, treasures and all of that? You know, he didn't like that shit. He didn't really care about that shit. He only cared about what he had at that moment, you know. And that's exactly the funniest part about that shit. That's exactly how they are, you know. That's exactly how they are. You know, they only care about everything at this moment. You know, they only care about what they got right there, what they need right there. You know, money, house, cars, bills, and all of that. A lot of the Edomites don't even believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua. They don't believe in the Bible. You know, they believe in what they got right in front of their face. If I can see it, then I believe it. You know, and that's how a lot of them are. They don't care about what everything else that's going on in the world. You know, they ain't worried about that shit. They just worried about what they got right then and there. But, you know, knowing the Israelites and all that, and knowing Jacob, which is our forefather, like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he's a forefather. He was looking further. Hey, my man was looking into the future type shit. Like, nah, man, this is gonna help me. So I got both the birthrights. I got the divine birthright, and then I got the world, you know. So that he had double blessings, you know. So it says, oh, this one is funny. Okay. Who is cold as hell? This one is funny as hell. Now this is where he got played at. And through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai, his destiny was altered forever. And it was made like that because the Most High didn't want him to have such an incredible blessing. It says, this is Genesis chapter 27, verse 1. It says, now it came to pass when Isaac was old and his eyes were so dim that he could not see, that he called Esau, his older son, to him. It says, my son, and he answered, here I am. Then he said, behold, now I am old. I do not know the day of my death. It says, now therefore, please take your weapons, your quiver, and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt game for me. And we all know that Isaac is Yahweh Shai reincarnated, you know. So it says, now therefore, please, no, it says, and make me some savory food, such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat, that my soul may bless you before I die. It says, now Rebekah was listening when Isaac spoke to Esau, his son. It says, and Esau went to the field to hunt game and to bring it. So Rebekah spoke to Jacob, her son, saying, indeed, I heard your father speak to Esau, your brother, saying, bring me game and make savory food for me that I may eat it. So his wife, what's her name? His wife Rebecca was real smart because she knew that he was a prophet from Yahweh Shem Shai, and she knew that whatever blessing that he was gonna give Esau would determine the fate of the world and the fate of everything as it is, you know. So she knew that, you know. So this is what she did in order to stop that. Through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. It's all through plot, you know, it's all through order, the story. It was made this way. It says, bring me game and make savory food for me that I may eat it and bless you in the presence of Yahweh, of Yahweh Shai before my death. It says, now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to what I command you. Go now to the flock and bring me from there 2 choice kids of the goats, and I will make a savory food from them for your father. This is what she's telling him, and she's smarter than Esau, you know. So she knew exactly what Esau was gonna make, and she did it even quicker. While he went out there and took all that time to go and hunt it and to go make it by hand, she had already had it as a recipe and had it ready to be cooked and all of that. She's smart. It says, such as he loves. It says, then you shall take it to your father that he may eat it and that he may bless you before his death. And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, look, Esau, my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth-skinned man. It says, perhaps my father will feel me, and he shall seem to be a deceiver. I shall seem to be a deceiver to him, and I shall bring a curse on myself and not a blessing. It says, but his mother said to him, let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice and go get them for me. She said, hurry up before he bless him and he get that blessing. And she didn't want him to have that shit anyway because he was kind of a rebellious son. He was sleeping with Hamite wives and shit, and taking on wives of a well, not foreign, but he was taking on Hamite wives of Africa. You know, he was marrying them instead of marrying with the, you know, Israelites, and with the other friends of the family. He was marrying other women and doing whatever he wanted. He didn't listen to his mother or his father Isaac, you know, but Isaac still, you know, cared about him, sort of. It says, I'm about to close out his code. It says, and when he went and got them and brought them to his mother, and his mother made a savory food such as his father loved. It says, then Rebekah took the choice clothes of her elder son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger son. And he put the skins of the kids of the goats on his hands and on the smooth part of his neck. Then she gave the savory food and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. So he went to his father and said, "My father." And he said, "Here I am. Who are you, my son?" It says, Jacob said to his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn." So you know that they was twins, so they sounded the same. So he thought that that was Esau. So it says, "I have done just as if you told me. Please arise, sit and eat of my gain, that your soul may bless me." So wait. hmm? It says, "But Isaac said to his son, 'How is that you have found it so quickly, my son?'" Meaning that, his mama cooked exactly what Isaac wanted, and Esau went and hunted for it, so it took a little bit longer. It says, "And he said, because Yahushua your God brought it to me." It says, "Then Isaac said to Jacob, 'Please come near, that I may feel you, my son, whether you are really my son or not.'" It says, "So Jacob went near Isaac to his father, and he felt him and said, 'The voice of Jacob, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau.'" And it says, "And he did not recognize them, because his hands were hairy like his, but Esau's hands, no, like his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him." Then he said, "Are you really my son Esau?" He said, "I am." And then he said, "Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's gain, so that my soul may bless you." So he brought it near to him, and he ate, and he brought him wine, and he drank. It says, "Then his father Isaac said to him, 'Come near and kiss me, my son.' And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his clothing, and blessed him and said, 'Surely the smell of my son is like the smell of the field, which Yahushua has blessed. Therefore may Yahushua give you a dew of heaven, of the fatness of the earth, and plenty of grain and wine. Let the people serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone who curses you, and blessed be those who blessed you.'" It says, "Now it happened, as soon as Jacob had finished blessing as soon as Isaac finished blessing Jacob," it says, "and Jacob had scarcely gone out from the presence of his father, he ran out of there, that Esau had his brother came in from hunting. He also made the savory food and brought it to his father, and he said to his father, 'Let my father arise and eat of his son's gain, that your soul may bless me.' And Isaac said to him, 'Who are you?' So he said, 'I am your son, your firstborn.' It says, then Isaac trembled exceedingly and said, 'Who?' Where is the..." That's so funny. It says, "Where is the one who hunted game and brought it to me?" This shit's funny. It says, "I ate all of it before you came." It says, "And I have blessed him, and indeed he shall be blessed." It says, "When Esau heard the words of his father, he cried exceedingly and great and bitter cry, and said to his father, 'Bless me also, O my father.' But he said, 'Your brother came with deceit and has taken away your blessing.' And Esau said, 'Is he not rightly named Jacob?' It says, 'For he supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now look, he has taken away my blessing.'" And that blessing, when Yahweh bless you, is forever. You know, it's eternal. So it says, "He took away my birthright, and look, he has taken away my blessing." And he said, "Have you not reserved the blessing for me?" Then Isaac answered and said to Esau, "Indeed, I have made him your master, and all his brethren I have given to him as servants. With grain and wine I have sustained him. What shall I do now for you, my son?" Then Esau said to his father, "Have you only one blessing?" "My father blessed me also." It says, "Oh, my father." And Esau lifted his voice and wept. Then Isaac, his father, answered and said to him, "Behold, your dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. By your sword you shall live." You got to take everything. It says, "And you shall serve your brother, and you're going to be a slave forever." It says, and it shall come to pass when you become restless that you shall break his yoke from your neck, because it's slavery. It says, so Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing with which his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will kill my brother Jacob. And the words of Esau, her older son, were told to Rebekah. So right there, he gave up his birthright. He gave up his birthright, and he gave up the eternal blessing that Yahweh was going to bestow on him. I'm about to walk on. And he was tricked and he was deceived out of it. So that shit was kind of funny. Like, he got robbed, like, with his dumb ass, man. And that's all him being a rebellious son. You know, Isaac still had love for, you know, Esau, but he was rebellious and his mama did not like him. You know, so instead of him cooking the way that the Israelites would cook, he would rather go out and go slaughter and go eat unlawful things that weren't meant to be eaten. You know, so that was another disadvantage, you know, from everything that his parents told him to do, he would do contrary to that, you know. So that was a very weakness for him. So, you know, that shit was kind of funny when, you know, she cooked the food way better than he did, and she cooked it way faster, you know. So when he found out the truth, he wanted to kill his brother because his brother got that blessing and he didn't, you know. But it's also telling you through the will of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you know, who the wicked is. And he is the wicked, and his destiny, that was his destiny, you know, was for not to have the fatness of the earth and to live by the sword and to serve his brother. And he would get so tired of his slavery that he would break free and turn on his brother, you know. So right there, you know, that right there was a good little story. And, you know, just constantly pointing to the wicked of this world and why the way he is. And, you know, and my fucking head is dibbling dabbling, but, you know, it just shows you my point that who is the wicked of the world, you know. So I'm going to cross this damn street and I'm about to get ready to go to work and stuff. And who's doing all of this evil, you know, because he was doing a lot of bad shit. And from one life to the other, all the way from the serpent in the garden to the two brothers tilling two brothers in the field, all the way to the twins in the womb, and then all the way until now, you know. So, you know, with all being said, I'm not gonna keep trying to explain it. I'm not that good at breakdowns. I think about it good and how it plays out. It still comes out kind of wishy-washy, but you get my point. Calling on Yahweh Shem Yahushai in the name of Yahushai. Much love to y'all, and shalom.